Hey everyone, today I was passing through trying to find Martha Eaton and her cemetery, and I passed this one by accident. I thought we would come back by after I went to visit Martha Eaton and just explore this one a little bit. Now, just a quick search on this cemetery. I wasn't sure if there was anyone important, but I thought the entrance to the cemetery was pretty interesting. Pleasant Valley Cemetery. But I found out that it is an African American cemetery. So it's nice to see that it is mowed and cared for. Looks like there could have been some other sign right here, or maybe just part of the fence. I don't know. But we'll just do a quick look around in here, see who we might find or what's interesting. This is the Jordan family. Several Jordans right here. And 1946 is when Green Jordan passed away, and then Fanny, wife of D.C. Jordan, was born in 1844 and died in 1923. This is mother and father. Mother is Martha Martin, and then looks like father is Ames Martin. Dates are a little bit difficult to read. Here we have a marker of some sort. It might be a foot marker. I'm not sure. Yeah, it looks like maybe 2 foot markers right here. There's a BK on there. But this is interesting. This is Anderson King, May 15th, 1860 to October 19th, 1941, and then Ella M. King, born June 26, 1869, and there's not a date of death on there, so I don't know if she was placed in another cemetery or not. Now, these have kind of sunk down in the ground quite a bit. They kind of need to be raised back up and some dirt placed underneath, but it really depends on the family taking care of these. Obviously, someone cares about this cemetery and probably has family in here because they're mowing it. Raleigh King, 1946 is when they passed. Here's another one that's older. Jesse Oliver McCord, January 16th, 1894 to September 1st, 1971. And Louetta was born April 21st, 1898. No date of death on there either. Nice markers though. There's this one lone area right up here towards the front in the corner. A couple of them you can see where the top portions have fallen off. You can see a marker here where it's inset in the ground. There's one right underneath here too. I'm using my feet just because there could be snakes, and I'd rather get the chance to hurry and kind of jerk my leg out of the way or run if I need to, if it's a rattlesnake. This is Daisy Robinson, born in 1901 and died in 1926. So just barely 25 years old right there. Jeffy, daughter of Henry and Harriet Rakeman. So somehow they're all related because they're in this family plot. 1877 to 1892. So probably a early pioneer cemetery here as well. Died when it was a territory still. Henry J. Rakeman right here. Born January 20th, 1862 and died August 31st, 1904. And this is Henry and Harriet here. Henry is 1841 to 1905. Okay, so different dates. Harriet is 1848 to 1930. And look at this. Henry is another one of these ones that may have gotten his choice of land in this area just because he was a Union soldier here. So Henry Rakeman, and he was in Company A, the 14th United States Colored Infantry, born in 1867 and died in 1905. So he's definitely an early pioneer here in the area, I think, but died before it became a state. And like I said, you can see little indentions, little markers, just almost look like foot markers. So there could be something that has sunk down into the ground, or maybe they didn't have anything. I'm not sure. Here's an old, just kind of rock marker right here. Here's a family plot area, little child. 1893 to 1895, Beluga. Oh, there's two. There's Ida May. Ida May was 1893 to 1894, and the other is 1911 to 1913. So lost two kids. King family is pretty prominent in here. William C., 1867 to 1951. And Addie is 1874 to 1965. Helen King Duke, 1895 to 1974. And W.H., 1897 to 1973. And Frankie King, 1904 to 2006. So look at that, almost 102 years old right there for Frankie. I don't know, like I said, there could be other markers in here. A lot of these just look like foot markers in here. And it might have been all the money they had just to put something like this in here. Not uncommon for cemeteries to just have a little marker like that, or a piece of rock, or nothing at all. Some of these people just didn't have enough money. No matter what the race is or the culture, they just didn't have money. So they would put like a wooden cross or just a rock there, and it gets lost over time. But at least you can kind of see that these little foot markers, what look to be foot markers but are actually probably headstones, are still maintained. Geneva Banks. So that JK, that maybe that's a King family, and then this is Banks, so maybe they're interrelated somehow through marriage. We have SB there. This is a family plot area. There's grass over it, but there's rocks in the middle. This is the John King family, it says. So yeah, they are. King and Banks somehow related. Let's see what's over here. What a view though, right up through here. There's obviously some more family of some sort right here. And see, here's a marker here that either is busted or is just a lot of pieces of a border, maybe, is what I think that maybe is. And they've hauled it out of the way. Earl C., son of J.A. and O.M. King, 1900 to 1901. And then we have Mother Martha, wife of Andrew Crockett, 1824 to 1916. Wow. And then this is Crockett right here. And it looks like Andrew Crockett, like it says over there, Company B, 116th United States Colored Infantry. And passed away July 19th. And it looks like 1912. And born in 1816, I think. That's not right. Definitely older one. It's kind of hard to tell with that. But it is definitely, we'll take another look here. That is okay, as I'm looking at that, I really do think that that is 1816 right there. So, man, he lived quite a while. There's some longevity in this cemetery for the most part, but look at this view right here. What a view underneath these cedar trees. So let's see, here we have King family here as well. It's almost a wonder why this isn't the King Cemetery. There's so many. John is 1910 and Charity is 1910. So then you can see these little markers there. They just have initials on them. And we have several members here. Rachel King, no dates. Grace Henderson. Loie King, if I'm saying that correctly, could be different pronunciation. Elsie King and Loveberry King. Over here we have Dan Petite, and Asa King. And then it's interesting to see how the layout is. Pretty nice borders around these. I think over time maybe some of them have gotten damaged, and that's what that pile was over there that we were looking at. Eugene C. Rogers, 1888 to 1974. And see what this one says. Looks like Thomas, 1847 to 1892. That's probably, last name is Rogers. That's probably another pioneer of the area. Sally, his wife, I guess, 1853 to 1891. I mean, they came here very early on, and it didn't make it too far. There is a veterans marker here, and this is Eugene C. Rogers, Sergeant in the U.S. Army, 1888 to 1974. Some of these that we're finding might be interesting to see if there's any history listed on Find a Grave about them. There might be several Union soldiers in here besides what we've already found. Let's see who we have here. These are funeral home markers, and I do like it when they put them in cement like this to make them last forever. These are the big tough ones. Last name is Wilson, Annie Wilson, 1845 to 1925. And we have another one that's like that. And Joshua Wilson, and he died in 1929. Do not know if there's anyone up underneath these trees, as well as this cedar tree here. The reason why it makes me wonder is there's kind of a border or marker or something right there. So I'm not sure. Yeah, there could be. Maybe this tree was planted there to mark it, because there are actually some rocks that are placed there around the tree. Don't know if you can see that at all really well, but there are definitely rocks placed around that tree, so there could be more inside there. The rocks are around a cedar tree, which is very common to have them placed there marking someone. So we have two markers. We'll have to get on the other side and see. This is Reverend Matthew Rogers, so that's interesting. He was a Mason, June 16th, 1859 to March 28th, 1932. Reverend Rogers. And Annie Rogers, 1918 to, no, looks like it's July 19th, 18 something. They didn't know her birth date, I guess, to March 24th, 1926. And over here on this side, we have, get up underneath the trees, we have another one, Madison Rogers, Company B, 16th United States Colored Infantry is what that says. Once again, another veteran. Hopefully you can see those rocks up underneath there on that cedar tree. So it does make me think that maybe that was placed here to honor the Rogers family, but maybe it's another person that is buried there. Phyllis, wife of Madison Rogers. She is 1827 to 1918. Decent sized cemetery, really. It's hard to say how many people were in here. Oh, we're on the wrong side here. They're kind of going back and forth, so it's difficult to tell which way they go. This is infant son of Mr. and Mrs. Jewel Gray, born and died December 18th, 1925. Olive Coleman, October 7th, 1891 to November 17th, 1924. What's interesting about this area with Coleman is that Mr. Coleman, the inventor of the Coleman lanterns, was in this area and had this area lit up very well with the service of his lanterns. It is considered one of the most lit towns in America at that one time for not having electricity especially. but he serviced lanterns out in this area and would keep them running up and refuel them every day. So I don't know if that's somehow connected to him or not, but that's interesting. Looks like Joseph Groom, Company B, 13th United States Colored, what is that? CHA. Someone help me out with what that is. I haven't seen one like that before. So someone help me out with what that abbreviation stands for. I'd appreciate that. That's a different one for me. It's in excellent shape, though. It's leaning a little bit, but the lettering on it is very good. Cemetery kind of goes up through there. I don't know. We'll stretch the corners of it and see if there's anybody, but I don't know. William Payne, born August 9th, 1856 and died February 23rd, 1899. And Alonza Payne, born November 27th, 1876 and died March 29th, 1897. Definitely some early pioneers that never got to see statehood there as well. Beautiful countryside right here. This is Flat, Oklahoma, and absolutely beautiful in my opinion. I like being able to see this far and over to the outskirts of the horizon over there. It's probably a good 12 miles or more. That's how far you can see. It's hard to say. Maybe a little bit less, but that's a long ways off. When you see something sticking up, you're definitely seeing it further because it's sticking up over the horizon. This is beloved mother and grandmother Marie E. Gray, July 20th, 1901, and died June 29th, 1999. More recent one. Let's see who we have here. Like I said, I am using my feet just simply because of snakes. Oscar Jewel Gray, and he was a sergeant in the U.S. Army during World War II, 1906 to 1984 right there. And he is kind of leaning in there. Could use a little bit of lifting and dirt underneath. As could this one before it breaks. This is just the ground settling. And no one's pushed this over or anything. This is Charles Madison, aged 44 years, died June 12th, 1908. Just barely saw statehood right there. Here is another veteran. And this is Randall Raglan, is what it looks like. Company B, 115th United States Colored Infantry. There are so many veterans in here. It's unbelievable, really, for a little cemetery. It's another little marker. There could be initials on the other side or something. I'm not going to dig it up out of the ground or anything. And I don't know if there's anything under this cedar tree. A lot of times people use cedar trees and mark the corners of final resting places. I don't know if there was something there or not, but it has really sunk down in there. I mean, it's a good 1.5 feet deep right through there. So it does make me think that something was there and it has sort of sunk down in there. They definitely use the cedar trees to mark the border of the cemetery. There's a lot of space over on this side of the cemetery, but I am not seeing any recessed areas of the ground. So over on this portion, which is the northern side of the cemetery, I don't really think that there is anybody in this section. It doesn't mean that they're not, but to me it looks like this is just extra portion of the cemetery that they could use for the future if they wanted to, if they were descendants, relatives, stuff like that. Like I said, this is mowed. There is a house across the street, so I don't know if they are related or not. I'm not going to show the house just out of privacy. But who knows, maybe they're a descendant somehow. And here is another one. Actually, about 3 of them here. And we have BB right here on this little kind of marker. And this is Alice, wife of H.I. Taylor, 1860 to 1906, I believe. Love the growth that's on there. And this says GW. Totally different initials right there. So I don't know. Oh, here's one right here, right in front of me. You can see where that's marked up. Oh, I thought it was going to be a wider one. But it is another marker right there. Broom and a rake would come in handy here, but like I said, I'm trying to be leery of rattlesnakes that could be in the area. The way these cedar trees are here, it makes you think there could be people up in there as well. I'm not sure. Very interesting cemetery though. I do think that there's a lot more over in this area and kind of where I'm at that are, you know, either have the markers covered up or are missing, maybe never had one. A lot of foot marker style markers in here, which is great. At least there's initials. And maybe more could be found out on Find a Grave. I'm not sure. Well, that is going to do it from this little cemetery visit. It was unexpected. Had no idea this was here. In my opinion, there's definitely a lot of heroes here. It is an African-American cemetery, but to me, that doesn't matter. These are still heroes. These are still people that fought for the United States. Even if you disagree with maybe the side that they were on, I don't know. To me, they're still heroes. But anyways, I want to thank you all for watching and joining me on this little adventure. And if you happen to know any information on this cemetery, leave a comment below whether you researched it and found a little bit more about the veterans that we've found here. I would love to know about them and know more about their story. I'll go home and try to look something up. But if you're watching this and you know something, let us know. I'm sure there's more people curious than what I am. Thanks again for watching, and we'll see you all next time.